Okay. I am sure missing my producer. Love it when Troy does all this. Okay. Um, oh, I know what I got to do. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't have my trusty producer with the network. So I got to do this myself. Okay. There is Facebook 1. YouTube. Facebook 2. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'll get I'm simulcasting in several places, so gotta figure this out. Okay. Facebook, Facebook, YouTube. Okay. I think we're good to go. All right. Praise the King. Welcome to the Central World Update. I'm Lisa Dennis Sparks, watching my self broadcast while the network is taking a hiatus. Um, it's Prophecy Friday. Shabbat Shalom. Happy and peaceful Sabbath to you. It's Friday again. I love Friday. Sorry, I usually don't have the fan on, but it's so hot in here. Reekage. I mean, I gotta have it on. It's just too hot without it. So even though I've got the AC on, it's still too hot without it. So we're gonna go ahead and use it. I'm gonna get into our study. Hope I can see this without it shining directly on the word. Everybody doing okay? Well, we're going to pick up our study from where we left off on Wednesday. We're headed into the trumpet judgments. We got through the seals, and we're going to recap seal 7 because that one's a really interesting. Let me get your Bible out. I want to let you know about how something very important when you're interpreting Revelation. In chapter 6, verse 12, we have our sixth seal. These are so big, I can't even see over. I love them, but I can't see over them. Now, in Revelation chapter 6, verse 12, we have our sixth seal. Now, in verses 13 through 17, he jumps ahead and summarizes the trumpet judgments. So at the end of Revelation chapter 6, it's time for the wrath. He just jumps over those. He just summarizes them. So it can fool you on the timing if you're not careful. Okay. Let's get into it. Well, if I can ever get these clean. Now, follow me on this. In Revelation chapter 6, we have, in verse 12, we have our sixth seal. And we were looking Wednesday at the NASA Eclipse website. And it's possible that that sixth seal might not open and that great earthquake happen until like end of December in 2028. That's possible. Okay. Because we don't really have conditions for the trumpet judgments or this earthquake really until between April 2028 and August 2030. That's when Apophis is going to be coming into our orbit around the sun and passing in front of our orbital path, to where when we go through that path, we're peppered with debris, and it could also cause this sixth seal earthquake. But it has to be a blood moon. That's our timing. So if you look up NASA Eclipse website and look at the lunar eclipses, then you can get an idea. It's a total eclipse. This one is for the sixth seal. It's a blood moon, a total lunar eclipse, and it tells you when to expect those. Now, I think 2025 is too soon because right now we are between seals 3 and 4, but we're still waiting on the manifestation, the full manifestation of seal number 2 with this Gog Magog war. These are the beginning of sorrows, these seals. So it's possible that the tribulation period might not start until the trumpet judgments are ready to hit. So I want you to realize on the timing here, Revelation 6:12, sixth seal, then 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 are summarizing the trumpet judgments and jumping to where Jesus shows up, and it's time to for the trumpet judgments. Or actually, I'm sorry, when Jesus shows up and it's time for the wrath, that would be the second half of the final 7 years, the great tribulation. Okay. So we went through Revelation chapter 7, and that shows us already in heaven. Okay. Now, when we regress back to chapter 8, then it talks about the seventh seal, which would come before Revelation 6, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 on the timing. Okay. So we're going to start in Revelation chapter 8 at the seventh seal and getting to the trumpet judgment. See, the 7 angels that have the 7 trumpets, they will not be released until the 7th seal is opened. And so the stars falling from heaven and the heaven departed as a scroll, all of that, that's all first half of the tribulation period trumpets. That doesn't come before the 7th seal, even though it is written like that. You have to study and figure this out. So in Revelation chapter 8, we have the 7th seal. Now, let's get started. Revelation chapter 8. And when he had opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. Now, here is where the 7th seal releases the angels with the 7 trumpets. So the trumpet judgments cannot occur before that 7th seal. Okay. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. So prayers of the saints are collected, and they are thrown down onto the earth during the trumpet judgments. Okay. Actually, even before the first trumpet sound. So this could be an indicator that the tribulation period, the final 7 years, which is Daniel's 70 weeks, 70th week of years, would occur right there at the seventh seal. So it's possible that the tribulation period won't start until the trumpet judgments start, but we'll watch and see. We'll watch and see. It could start with the fourth seal. Now we know right now we're waiting on the full manifestation of seal number 2, even though seal 3 is currently opening or open, excuse me, and displaying global effects. So we've got 3 seals open, but 2 and 3 are still manifesting, kind of like the first one is still manifesting with Snake in a Dress, putting together his digital economy, one world religion, all this. So it says in verse 3, and another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. So the prayers of the saints, which have been collected and not manifested yet, are cast down onto the earth. So during the first half of the tribulation period, likely, there are going to be a ridiculous number of people wake up and come to Jesus and start listening to him instead of listening to the world. In verse 4, and the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. This could be, I mean, all these little details are indicating this could be where the beginning of the tribulation period actually starts, with after the seventh seal is opened, and you have the 7 angels with the 7 trumpets about to sound. So look in verse 5, and the angel took the censer and filled it with the fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. Now, I don't know if this is another earthquake, because seal 6 has a massive earthquake. This may be another earthquake. We'll just have to watch and see what happens. In verse 6, and the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. So between seal 6 and trumpet 1, we've got at least 2 major earthquakes. We've got one after seal 6, which would probably occur on that exact blood moon. And then we've got one after the 7th seal, when the prayers of the saints are cast down onto the earth along with God's judgments. And you've got the 7 angels with the 7 trumpets that are about to sound. This may be the beginning of the tribulation period here. So in verse 7, the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. Hail and fire mingled with blood. What is that? It looks like, well, let me finish the verse. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burned up. Now, is this the earth passing through that debris field? It could be, because it says hail and fire mingled with blood. Now, hail and fire. It sounds like we're getting peppered with debris, although this could be an indicator of of nuclear detonation. When you have a nuclear detonation, one of the results is hail that is huge. The fire would be obvious. Mingled with blood, I don't know if that is some kind of ionization that happens as um, these things pass through our atmosphere or what, but it doesn't sound good, does it? And they were cast upon the earth. So hail and fire mixed with blood cast upon the earth. The third part of trees was burned up, and all green grass was burned up. All the green grass. That's amazing, isn't it? How can all the green grass be burned up everywhere? Um, it could be that we have ozone issues at that point because we've had nuclear detonations occur prior to this. So all of these things work together to produce these effects. You guys have any questions yet? Uh, let's see. Hello, Alana, Vonda, Christopher. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Uh, okay. Christopher says, "You guys, please pray for my wife and I. We need a financial miracle." Well, you don't ever want to ask God for money. What you want to ask Him for is what you need. Like, if you need your rent paid, Lord, cover my rent in Jesus' name. I pray. Um, if you ask Him for money, you're kind of uh, defeating the purpose because Caesar's money works here, but ask God for what you need the money for. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So if you have a debt you need to pay, Lord, I pray that you would pay this debt off for me. Lord, I pray that you would pay my rent. I pray that you would pay my car payment. I pray that you would take care of feeding us for this month or keeping a roof over our heads. You get what I'm saying? Rather than saying, Lord, please give me this amount of money or give me money, whatever. No, you don't want to ask God for money. I never ask God for money, ever, ever. You just you ask him for what you need done and let him decide how to do it. Okay. Like if you need your rent paid, Lord, I trust you to cover my rent. And he knows what you need before you do, before you know. Okay. So, but he's waiting for you to look to him to cover you and not to give you money, but to take care of what you need the money for. You know what I mean? If you feed your family and you don't have the money for it, Lord, I trust you to feed my family. Lord, I trust you to pay my rent. Lord, I trust you to pay the electric bill so we can stay cool or whatever. You know what I mean? Trust, ask him for what you need done rather than asking him for money. You know what I mean? So let's lift up Christopher and his family. Father, in the name of Jesus, we ask that you provide for Christopher and his family for his request in your way, O Lord, and pour out from heaven provision that you know they need in Jesus' name, Lord. Ask it by your wonderful name and your wonderful grace. So let it be done. Okay, let's keep going. Shalom. Hi, Linda. You doing all right? Wow. It was 115 degrees today. It's ridiculous. Um, oh, is Sandra your mom? I love Sandra. She's awesome. Hi, Michael. Hello, Sandra. Love you. Um, welcome, Michael. Hi, Tina. Hello, Gary. Tina says, "How was your birthday, Lisa?" It was great. I totally dug it. I mean, I talked to a friend on the phone, and I ordered myself steak and crab legs, and I stuffed my face while I was talking to my friend on the phone. It was good. It was good. I stayed home, but it was nice to talk to my friend on the phone. Okay, let's see. Linda says mingled with blood could be what lava falling looks like. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Um, Christopher says, Amen. I agree. Thank you. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Give to God what is God's. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Oh, she's your adopted mom. Well, she's a great one too. You couldn't have picked a better one. Hi, Anne Marie. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday was yesterday, and it was good. I'm just even a little older now than I was, the day before yesterday. Already into the crusty zone here. All right. I don't see any other questions. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. That's thank you. That was very nice. Hi, guys, on the Meet Me app. I'm gonna come over here and say hi to you and see if there's any questions. Oh, thank you, Kevin. That's very sweet. Thank you. Um, hello, hi, Kevin. Glory to God. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's very cool of you to say. Old ladies love to hear things like that, but it's not true, but we still like to hear it. Hi, Jose. Hello, Boo Boo. Marcella. Um, Hol- I'm not sure how to pronounce what you're writing here. Um, wholesome, just spelled differently. Is that what that is? Hello, Scrappy. Atlanta Braves. Welcome, Gabriel, Dustin, Jim. Welcome, 4FS. Welcome. I remember you. Hi, Santi, Sean, Claudio, um, Michael. Hello, Michael. Francesco, Spanky, Jeff, Dan. Yeah, I got this, distinctive laugh, I guess, that kind of gets me busted when I'm out and about. I was in Kirkland's one day, and the girl behind the counter, and she said, "You're Lisa Dennis Sparks, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "How did you know?" Because I was kind of incognito, right? I didn't have any makeup on. I had my hair up and, I had these big glasses on. And she said, "I heard you laugh, and I recognized your laugh." So that got me busted and gave me away. Hello, Carlos and Dior. Welcome. Okay, let's get back into it. Actually, Christopher says that I turned 21. No, I turned 62. Freakish. Yeah, I turned 62. So now I'm like, I was already officially old, so now I'm officially older. Hi, Kathy. You doing all right? Yeah. Oh, daisies. Yeah. What can I say? I'm still getting around. I'm still hanging in there. You know, still hanging in there. Okay, are we ready to get back into our study? Now, this first trumpet, the first, I'm going to read this scripture again. It's Revelation chapter 8, verse 7. The first angel sounded. So there's a trumpet blast. Now, I don't know if the whole world hears it or not. We can't know that right now. We'll just have to wait and see. But when it does happen, it says the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. Now, I don't know if this is the effects of, um, a nuclear detonation, which may come, we may have 7 of those that accompany the second seal. And that's going to, if we have those 7 nuclear detonations with this Gog Magog war, ooh, that would cause radiation to circle the planet. And as it and leave this nasty, yucky stuff in our atmosphere. And then if we get peppered by going into the debris path of Apophis, it could produce those effects, hail and fire mingled with blood. This was one of those original Egyptian plagues, if you remember right. Moses told Pharaoh that hail would fall from a clear sky and burn as fire upon the ground. We're going to see some amazing things as these things take place. Now, this is probably this particular trumpet judgment probably will not occur prior to maybe 2029, somewhere in there. We'll have conditions for that. Now, does anybody have any questions regarding the trumpet, first trumpet judgment? Now, like I say, I don't know if we're going to hear a trumpet, globally. I don't know, but I know that once it does sound, we will experience the effects. And what's really amazing is that 1/3 of the trees are burned up, and all green grass was burned up. I was looking at what happened in Maui. That was a directed energy weapon. They have a color of blue. It's a very weird blue. That all of these celebrities around Maui have painted their houses this same weird color of blue, same shade. And you look, there was a demonstration given showing the different colors and how directed energy weapons can penetrate and respond to each one of these types of colors, and it doesn't do any damage to that particular color of blue. But any other color, it'll fry it. Doesn't burn plastic, but it causes metal to burn and explode. And then you see from satellite images that the damage is all in a big circle. Looks like something has come, like a laser or whatever, has come from space and burned a huge circle, except for anything that was that particular shade of blue didn't get touched. Amazing. Um, those people, you know, when someplace catches on fire, the people leave the area. There were reports of the police closing off areas and not letting people out. They're asking, why won't you let us out? Well, I have orders. I'm supposed to keep everyone here because of, I don't know, something worse. If you let them out, what? What could possibly be worse than being inside this area with the fire? You're looking at ridiculous numbers of deaths that took place in Maui. And that number of deaths does not occur from a fire. Okay. It just doesn't. Because when things catch on fire, people leave. All right. You've got hundreds of people who were killed inside their home. And there were witnesses that talked about how this one guy said, he said, my neighbor across the street and next door to me, their houses caught on fire at exactly the same time as mine. Well, that's weird because fires spread, right? You can see them coming, all this. Well, all of a sudden, several houses catch on fire at the exact same time, spontaneously. I mean, not everybody's cooking, not everybody's grilling with propane or doing anything that would cause simultaneous fires to come up in several homes in one area. But that's what happened. People were microwaved inside their houses. You've got like 800 people missing. How does that occur in a regular fire? It doesn't occur. You had plastic carports that were unaffected, but you had a metal car underneath it that burned. How does that happen? It's microwaves. Um, Now, I heard this Navy SEAL talking about how it could be a directed energy weapon. It's like a laser they fire from a satellite that just burns everything except plastic and except anything that is that one weird shade of blue. Um, Man is the culprit. Obviously, man is obviously the culprit. Now, I don't know if this effect here could have anything to do with a directed energy weapon. I don't know, but that's why I think we have to have conditions uh, existing out there for something like this to occur. Now, I don't know how long it'll be between the trumpet judgments, but as we can see, Seal 1 opened in 2013. Seal 2 might have been 2019 with the bioweapon, and then that one would, it Seal 2, the Great Sword, that's gonna involve bioweapons, chemical weapons, and nuclear weapons. And we've seen some of Seal 2 where peace is being taken from the earth, but it hasn't blown up yet like it will, and it will. And when the see, what's really cool is that the invasion of Israel from the north can only happen on the Jewish feast day of Purim. So we don't, it's not a situation where we're watching every single day for that particular event. There are 4 references to Purim in that one scripture passage in Ezekiel 39. So Purim is in March. So what the past couple of years we've been watching at Purim for this invasion of Israel from the north, and it comes and goes both years, right? Came and went this year as well. Maybe more likely that it would open Purim in 2024, not open, but that invasion of Israel would occur at Purim in 2024 because they want this war. They've got to have it. We know it takes place because of the scriptures. So this war does happen. And if they wait to Purim 2025, Trump would be back in there as president and he could stop it. He said he could stop this war in 24 hours. They don't want it stopped. Biden is using our money, our resources, our weapons, sending it over there to purposely provoke this war with Russia. Single-handedly, without any kind of declaration from Congress or mandate from the American people, going over there to provoke a war with Russia, using our money to do it. Such a bozo. When this war actually, it'll be verifiable when Israel's northern border is breached by Russia, Iran, and Turkey, coming down from just south of Damascus across Israel's northern border. Now, when that occurs, then we've got fulfilled prophecy that's verifiable. But it has to happen on that exact feast day. It can't happen on any random, just any random day. It can't happen like that. It has to happen on that exact feast day. And if it comes and goes like the last 2 or 3 years, what we've been watching for it, then we don't have to worry about the whole rest of the year. We know the war will continue for another whole year, and then we watch for the invasion of Israel again at Purim the next year. But our chances of this happening, the invasion of Israel from the north occurring in 2024, are higher because Trump will very likely get back in there at the election in 2024. And he would take over as president in January 2025. Well, then Purim 2025 wouldn't be an issue because Trump can stop the war. He can stop it. He can. He says he could, and I believe he could. I believe he could. Because Biden is the one purposely provoking this war. If you got Biden out of there, the war wouldn't even happen. Or whoever's handling Biden. I mean, I don't even know if he knows what planet he's on. He's so out there. But do you see what I'm saying? Where it has to happen at Purim only. If Purim comes and goes, which is March 2024, we wouldn't watch again for the northern invasion of Israel until Purim 2025, then Purim 2026. We would just keep watching year to year until that event finally manifests. So we're looking at just at Purim. So if it doesn't happen in 2024, Trump would get in there unless they assassinate him or something in November 2024, and then we would have a shift where the war is not as likely at all. So we have a heightened likelihood for Purim 2024, but then that likelihood significantly decreases unless, like I say, they assassinate Trump or he's not in there for some reason. But if he is in there, the war won't take place. And they need this war. And we do know that this war does take place because of the scriptures. It shows us that this war does indeed happen. So at least, though, we don't have to. That's our next event we're watching for, is this the invasion of Israel from the north by Russia, Iran, Turkey, and you've got several of the Muslim fringe groups like Al Qaeda Hezbollah, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Al-Aqsa Brigades, and all of these Islamic groups that are over there. They are going to come down against Israel along with Russia, Iran, and Turkey. But it can only happen on that one day of the year. That one feast, it has to be Purim. Now, the reason is because each one of these events, what it looks like is each event coincides with the Jewish feast day that commemorates a similar event. So if you know anything about the book of Ruth and Purim, the Jews faced an existential threat, but King Ahasuerus allowed them to defend themselves, and they they won, and they successfully defended themselves. Now, we have a similar existential threat to Israel with this Gog Magog invasion from the north. You also have Ethiopia and Libya invading maybe some of these other northern African countries, maybe like Mauritius and Tanzania and some of these others that may join with Ethiopia and Libya and attack Israel from the south, right around the same time as the northern invasion occurs. But once we see the northern invasion, it has to come exactly at Purim, or it's not fulfilled prophecy. Prophecy is exact in every detail. And if there's a single itsy bitsy teeny weeny tiny one detail that's off, we have to throw it out. When you're talking about a zero error standard with our God, He meets it. So if there's any element in the scriptures that doesn't happen when along with an event, like if let's say Israel's invaded from the west rather than the north, well, that's not fulfilled prophecy. You see what I mean? It has to be in every detail exactly like the scripture instructs and tells us in every single detail. And it has to happen exactly on Purim, the Jewish feast day of Purim, for this invasion of Israel from the north, or else it's not verifiable Bible prophecy. All of these details have to be in place. Now, let's go ahead and get into the second trumpet judgment. That would be chapter 8, verse 8. Make sure that you understand here that as we go into these things, each each major event has a corresponding Jewish feast day. And that may help me plot out these events with some pretty good accuracy as we get further into this. But right now, we just have to watch and see, watch and see. And then when the war finally shows up, this war is going to change the world as we know it. Nothing is going to be the same again. You're looking at 2 billion deaths, 7 nuclear detonations, and from the ashes of what is left, the new world order rises with the snake dressed pope at the top as the Antichrist of prophecy, the son of perdition. And that's getting more and more likely with the changes that we see happening in the world. Because have you noticed that there's a war against the false church? Okay. The Vatican specifically is the whore of Babylon in the scriptures. As things change and you have this new world order, there's going to be as they go in toward this global government, all the nations of the world have to lift somebody up as the world leader who they all trust. Nobody's going to trust the leader of America or the leader of France or the leader of South America. Um, uh, you know, well, there's several down there, but you know what I'm saying. A national leader is not going to be trusted by the whole world. The Pope is the only one who the whole world will agree to trust and lift up as the leader of the New World Order. Their socialist and communist agenda depends on who's at the top being trustworthy. See, they long for the kingdom. They want the kingdom to where it's a global community where everyone has housing, everyone has good food, clean water, everything that they need, right? They want everyone to have health care and all this. Well, their socialist and communist system sounds really great to them. They've been brainwashed in our schools to believe that this is a better way. Well, you can tell in what they aspire to that they long for the kingdom with Jesus at the helm and everybody would be taken care of. Their plan depends on whoever is at the top being good, and willing to take care of everyone. That is not the case. That is why it is so dangerous to bring socialism or communism into places like America. It doesn't work with our republic. We prefer our freedom to starve over enslavement by a government who would feed us. Okay. Now, to the young people, that doesn't sound too smart. But to anybody who's older, we understand the dangers of socialism and communism because in our lifetimes we have seen it tried all over the world, and not a single time has it ever worked for the those at the top who are controlling all of the country's resources and controlling all the people enslave the people and starve them and control them rather than providing for them like a good leader would. There is, they're going to put all of it in the hands of one man who they believe can be trusted to distribute the assistance where it's needed. But he is the son of perdition. He's the Antichrist of prophecy. He's not going to be helpful to the world. He seeks to enslave the world. So don't take any kind of technology into your physical body that would make your body connectable to the quantum computer system run by artificial intelligence that's in the Vatican. They want to connect your body to that system. You see, the 10 kings that lift him up into that position, they end up turning on the Vatican and destroying it at some point. See, they turn on the Vatican, seize its assets, seize its treasures, and then burn it with fire because the AI that controls the quantum system for the digital economic system starts killing anybody who refuses to comply with it. If they have a connection to your body, they can kill you where you stand. They can give you a heart attack, a brain tumor. They can They can kill you. They can make you sick. You can't let them have that kind of control. So what if you have not had the don't get it. And if you have taken it, look online. There are many ways to use antioxidants to sabotage the technology inside those, creating a circuit in your body. You know, that's what more and more boosters. They're creating a circuit within the body that can to quantum system for the global digital economic system. But in order to join that global digital economic system, you have to pledge your loyalty and allegiance to the snake in a dress, the Antichrist, the Pope, the eighth Pope, who's also a king. You have to pledge your loyalty to him as the one world leader, to his one world religion, and his new world order. You become a part of it in order to be able to have the privilege, if you will, of participating in the economic system. It's going to be interesting how these things manifest. Why do you think all the wickedness in the false church has been coming out, and you hear all about these pedophile priests um, molesting kids, raping nuns, um, being thieves? They don't even believe God. They don't even believe in God at all. Okay, they're they're bad guys. They are the wicked. Okay, they are the wicked. Does anybody have any questions? I keep trying to get into these trumpets, but the Lord keeps taking me into some of this other stuff in my head here. Um, Siraj, what are you doing? And you're not going to bombard me this time, are you? Uh, you might not be the same one, but I think you might be. Um, Kathy says Trump could he that the one that the world trusts. Trump's not, he doesn't qualify to be the Antichrist. None of the world leaders do except the Pope. It is the eighth Pope who is also a king, shown to us in Revelation chapter 7. It tells us, here is the mind which hath wisdom in Revelation 17:9. The seven heads are seven mountains on which the woman sitteth. That's Rome. The woman is the Vatican. The popes became kings of their own sovereign nation as 1929 when the Lateran Treaty was signed. And there are eight popes. There are eight popes who are also kings. And Francis is the eighth. And it says here um, that these in verse 10, there are seven kings, five have fallen. One is the sixth Pope King is John Paul II, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. That's Benedict. He was only Pope for 7 years. In verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, he's going to be assassinated and then resurrected by Apollyon out of the bottomless pit. The beast that was and is not, even he is eighth, the eighth Pope who is also a king. There is no ninth Pope who is also a king. There is no ninth. The eighth is Francis. He's the one. And the dude is what? 80 something years old. How old is he now? Let me find out. How old's the Pope? He's 86. Okay. So these things can't be 20 years down the road. Now, they could be 10, but not 20. Okay. I mean, the Pope is a snake in a dress, is what he is. This is him. Stay Puft the Destroyer. The Pope is a liar. He is a devil in a human body. He's actually a devil in a human body, according to the word. Jesus said about his 12 disciples, he said, have I not chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil? He was talking about Judas. Judas was also called the son of perdition. Well, this Pope is also called the son of perdition because he's a devil in a human body. Now, remember Judas when they were at the Last Supper? He was already a devil in a human body, but Jesus gave him, dipped the bread, and gave him the salt, and Satan entered into him. You're looking at the same kind of situation. Right now, the Pope is a man, but, well, I mean, kind of like Judas, he's a devil in a human body, okay? But he's not Satan in a human body yet. Like he will be after he's assassinated and the king of the bottomless pit comes out of the bottomless pit, enters his body, and resurrects him. Then he will be the beast. But there's no ninth pope that's also a king. It's Francis. He's the one, and he's already 86. So we can't be real far away from the manifestation of these events. But I don't think that we're real super close either. We'll just have to. The next event we're watching for would be the invasion of Israel from the north, which can only happen, according to Bible prophecy, at Purim. So we'll watch March 2024. That's our next watch to see if Israel's invaded from the north, and if they are, then Israel will fire 7 nuclear detonations at Moscow, Tehran, Istanbul, Crimea, Damascus, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and Tripoli, Libya. 7 nuclear detonations, and those are most likely the targets. So we'll just have to wait and see. We're at the top of the hour already. Wow. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and get into it again. Hopefully, the Lord will let us get into the trumpet judgments more. That was the plan, but as you see, it's not really my show; it's his. So he does whatever he leads, and he leads through questions and all kinds of things. So we're going to take 5 minutes, and then we'll go again for another hour. We'll be right back. Don't go away. this fan anymore. Okay, I can turn that off and give you guys a break. Okay. Hi, Stephanie. You doing all right? Oh, thank you. She says, Lord, please let the Meet Me people have some class tonight. Yeah, we get sometimes we get some real doozies in the Meet Me app. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hi, guys on the Meet Me app. You guys doing all right? Oh, Laquandria says the Pope is gorgeous. 86-year-old dime piece. He's he's a joke, is what he is. I know exactly who he is. I had him pegged clear back in 2014, almost 10 years ago. So I am not unsure of who he is. I know exactly who he is. He meets every biblical criteria, and nobody else on the planet does. Okay. He is the one person that everybody that all the nations will trust to put in charge of the one world government and the one world religion. He's already got that going. He's been busy as the Energizer Bunny ever since he got his crown and the first seal opened in 2013. Um, let's go ahead and oh, hi Garrett. Let's see. Um, you're back up here. Okay. Oh, wow. Thank you, Tina. That was really sweet. Well, I appreciate it. I don't look 62. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Lori. You doing all right? Alana says, you're talking about Hawaii. It was totally deliberate, fast, and destructive. I think so too. Yeah. Um, Tina said the thought of spontaneous combustion scares the living daylights out of me. It is a very scary thing, isn't it? I mean, they can kill you. They certainly can kill you. Hi, Priscilla. It's great to see you. Priscilla watches from Guam. I'm so glad that you guys come from all over the world to study with me. I'm just so honored that you feel like the study is worth your time. Um, now, Alana says, I think we're going to have, Alana's from Australia, says, I think we're going to have a bad summer this year. Probably the many areas on fire, if you know what I mean. They set our East Coast up in 2019. Oh, did they? Hi, Kathy. You doing all right? Good to see you. Kathy says Trump could be in the world trust. No, he doesn't qualify, sister. But she says the people are loyal to Trump. Yeah, those who love our republic, love freedom, and don't want socialism and communism in America, all love Trump of all races. He will get back in there. Given he's like 50 points above his closest rival in the polls. And, I've thought about how it's possible that the left wants him back in there in 2024. Why don't they just assassinate the guy if they don't want him in there? It's like you have to look at the results of something because they follow Lenin. Okay. And Lenin said the best way to control the opposition is to run it. Okay. And everything that they do only raises his poll numbers. Why is that? I'll tell you why I think Trump will be back in there. Because as we go into the tribulation period and you have the Pope as the one world leader, there are 10 kings of 10 nations that are not kings yet, but become kings. After this war, the world is in a shambles. Nothing is going to be the same as it is right now after the war. And what the Pope is going to want Trump in there, which is why he's probably going to be back in there. And I'll tell you why. Because it's the Christian right follows Trump. Well, the Pope needs leaders that will lead, that the Christians support, and will follow those leaders to devotion to the Pope. And if Trump doesn't get back in there till after the war, he won't be able to stop the New World Order from absorbing us. He will have to work with the Pope. And his dad was a Jesuit. Okay. The Jesuits are the military arm of the Catholic Church. So he's one of them. Okay. Now he's been fighting the New World Order all this time. He's very consistent about fighting the New World Order. But it won't be, the people won't hold Trump responsible or not for avoiding the New World Order if by the time he gets in there, the Vatican already controls our economy and he'll have no choice but to work with the Pope. But that may have been the plan all along. Pope is going to want leaders in there of the nations that are among the Christian right. Okay. See, he's going to tear the church down. Um, you see all of these people like the liberal left, right? The liberal left fights against the false church. So they think they're right, but they're both wrong. See, they do. The church is the enemy, the Roman Catholic Church, and all those churches in the world that gather themselves back to the Vatican. They're all wicked and they're all wrong. Okay, because the Pope's the Antichrist, right? They're all wrong, but the liberal left sees the oppressive church as something they want to tear down. Well, the snake in a dress Pope is going to tear down the false church. There is no ninth Pope king. He's the eighth, and the eighth is the beast. So he's going to tear down the false church, expose all the corruption, and the liberal left will love the guy because he tears down the false church and all its oppressive, ugly. The way it comes across is just really ugly and harsh and mean and judgmental, right? So the Pope will tear it all down. Well, those whose loyalty has been to the church will shift and their loyalty will be to the Pope. Now, one of the things that he's going to do is, excuse me, one of the things that he's going to do is change the times and seasons. He will see it's been 2023 years since Jesus died for us. He's not going to retain that system of counting the years. What he'll do is he'll reset our calendar to go by the law of Moses and the Hebrew calendar. Like, see, this is the year 5783 on the Hebrew calendar. So he's going to be the Jewish Messiah, right? What he does is he wipes out everything between now and back when the law of Moses was given. So he erases Jesus from the timeline and reinstates the law of Moses, the Hebrew calendar. So he would say, okay, now it's not 2023 anymore. It's 5780, whatever. Okay. When that happens. And the Jews will think he's their Messiah. And he's not, but They end up in that situation because when Jesus was standing before Pilate, Pilate asked the crowd, "Shall I crucify your king?" Well, their response was, "We have no king but Caesar." So now Caesar is going to be their king, and they're going to believe he's their Messiah. And the false prophet, their high priest, will be his sidekick. His name is Baruch Kahane. He's a rabbi in Israel. He's going to be their high priest of the Sanhedrin. And that's a position that has not been held since 66 AD. It's going to get real interesting as these things start taking place. Um, but Trump doesn't qualify to be the Antichrist, but he's one of them. He knows all of these elites, and he's a billionaire. And you don't get to be a billionaire unless you bow before Satan to be one. Like Oprah, she had to bow, or she wouldn't be a billionaire. Okay. And it talks in Luke chapter 4. I'll show you real quick. In Luke chapter 4, it talks about how Satan is the one who gets to appoint the world leaders. We think we do it with our elections, but not according to the scriptures, we don't. It says here in Luke chapter 4, um, verse 5, and the devil taking him up unto a high mountain showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them. For that is delivered unto me. God gave him the ability to choose the world leaders. And to whomever I will, I give it. So he told Jesus, thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine. We think that we get our world leaders through elections, but the word says that the devil decides who gets to sit in these positions of authority. They have to bow before him and do things his way in order to be given that authority. Now, I think Trump is the best president we have ever had in America. But he's also, his power base is the Christian right, which is why they're going to want him in there to lead all those on the Christian right to the Pope as the world leader and to participate in the New World Order and to believe that he's the long awaited Messiah. But see, this Pope is going to erase Jesus from the timeline. He thinks he's the new Jesus for this generation. So he's going to wipe out Jesus and all the references to Jesus, like on our calendar, 2023. It's 2023 because it's been 2023 years since Jesus died for us. He's going to want to wipe out all of those references to Jesus, going all the way back to Moses, and just wipe out Jesus like he never came. That's what he does. That's what the Antichrist is designed and purposed to do. Now, we as children of God who love God, we love Jesus Christ. We understand that he's God in a human body, and we love and obey his word and value it. But he wants to be the new Jesus. Okay. So he's going to change the times and the seasons. He's already he's already changed, or one of his predecessors has already changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. That isn't that what the devil would do? Change to completely the opposite of what the real day is, right? I mean, the biblical Sabbath is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Well, the Vatican changed it to Sunday. Sunday is just a regular work day in Israel, and it's a regular work day for me too. That's when I clean my house and do my laundry and all of that stuff, getting ready for a new week. But from Friday night sundown till Saturday sundown, that's the Sabbath, and that's the Sabbath that we observe, okay? And it's an ordained day off, so I just do whatever I wanna do on those days, on the Sabbath days, you know? But it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. It's not lawful to do evil any day of the week, okay? Um, does anybody have any questions? I keep trying to get in these trumpets, but it hasn't worked so far, has it? I'm glad to see you, Garrett. Garrett watches from New Zealand. That's right. Jesus is number one. Garrett says, Dusty from my Facebook friends and a sub to this channel has now become my Monopoly Go rival. You guys can be, you guys can support each other and study together and things like that. See, I'm not a teacher of men. I'm a teacher of women, and I'm not really even a teacher. I'm a Bible student of most of my life, and I just share what I learned. Jesus is the teacher. He teaches you, or you won't learn anything. But I don't counsel with men, and I don't really deal with men because I don't have any authority to do that. And I don't teach in the church. Um, I go by the word. I stick with the word, but I don't go to church anymore. I just couldn't. It, I hated it. It just was. It just hindered my faith. Um, if I could find a good church with a pastor who really truly loves God and can teach by the Spirit, that'd be great. But that's not the case. Garrett says, so Lisa, getting back to our question from last time, I'll rephrase it. So basically, in Matthew 26:52, it says, if you'll live by the sword, you die by the sword. But in Luke 22:36, it says, if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. Why would you need to buy a sword if knowing that if you use the sword, you will die by it? Doesn't add up. Well, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Peter was the one who took the sword. Peter was kind of like, he was trained in the law, and he was a man who was willing to use a sword on someone, okay? He cut off the high priest's servant's ear. That servant's name was Malchus, and Jesus had to put it back on it. But to keep Peter from being arrested. But those who those on the broad path that lead to destruction buy the sword, okay? And they use it. The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. But then remember, after Peter pulled his sword and cut off the high priest's servant's ear, Jesus told him, "Put away your sword." They needed the one sword because it was written for Peter to cut off the high priest's servant's ear and for Jesus to put it back on again with one of his miracles. Okay. Um, if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. Now, those who follow the Pope, like the Jesuits, for example, they live by the sword. They kill people in service to the Pope. They commit atrocities. They pour sufferings on the people because they say if they pour enough sufferings off on the people will reach out to the Pope for salvation. And that's their whole goal is to get the people to reach out to God through the Pope. The Pope is the Antichrist. He's the son of perdition. I don't care how much suffering they pour on you. Tell the Pope to take a hike. Don't ever look for God in the enemy camp. You won't find him there. You find the enemy. Um, let's say during the tribulation period, Garrett, let's say you have weapons, you have the supplies that you stored up, kind of like the preppers or whatever. Well, if you are shooting anybody who comes in dire straits needing food, water, or shelter or whatever, and you don't want to admit them to your group, you run them off or shoot them, that's how you're going to die. Okay. If you kill someone to save your own life, that's how you're going to die. And you don't want to die like that. It's better to go as a martyr. But uh, I have to say that if someone was trying to hurt one of my daughters or one of my grandkids, uh, I would shoot them. Okay, I have a weapon. I'm pretty good with it, actually. I would shoot them. Not without hesitation. If they're trying to hurt or kill one of my kids, and I might even defend my own life by shooting. I don't know. I'm able to, but I think what it's talking about is that, if you go and you hold somebody at gunpoint and you take their supplies, trying to save your family, but not caring about theirs, you shoot them to take their supplies to extend the lives of your family, somebody's gonna come and shoot you and take those supplies and for themselves. And it's like if you use violence to survive, violence is gonna be used against you. And you don't want that to happen because you want the martyr's crown. The martyr's crown is what you want. And keep in mind, we are dying in large numbers at the fifth seal, long before the mark of the beast comes. At the earliest the mark of the beast would show up would be like sixth trumpet. That's the earliest, and that's way on down the road, several years down the road. So we're dying at seal number 5 for a reason, and I think it's because we are refusing to join the global digital economic system. And you have to accept the technology into your body to join that system. But they want you to add that technology to your body so they can connect the system to your body, because once you're connected to that system, you are enslaved. And if you don't do as you're told, they can kill you by remote control. Don't take the technology into your body. Don't let them connect to your body. Now, I know they're pushing that it's so convenient. Well, sure, it's convenient. It'd be awesome, wouldn't it? To be able to just run your hand across something and or just walk into a store, pick up what you want, walk out with it, and it automatically charges your account for whatever you chose. That's awesome. That's cool. That's convenient, but it's also enslavement. What it is. Garrett says, sounds like the former scripture, he isn't condoning violence through the use of sword, but in the latter, he highlights the importance of having a sword. It makes the latter scripture superfluous unless it is used solely for self-defense. Oh yeah, reminds me of the last broadcast you had. You had some man crushes in the meantime. In the media. It sounds like you still have it at your age, 62. Oh, thank you. I think. Hi, Karen. How are you doing? She says, "Do you think there'll be a civil war because of what's going on with Trump?" I think that there are so many Trump supporters in this country that the only people on the other side are the radical left, and they are a very small portion of the country. I think if the Trump supporters all rose up, that would be everybody. I don't think the other side has enough people on it to conduct a war, honestly. Um, I mean, you've got Hispanics, blacks, Asians, you've got rural people, small town people, mom and pop businesses, all these, they're all for Trump. And more black people are voting for Trump, more and more Hispanics, Asians. Uh, Nobody wants to be associated with the radical left and the agenda that they're pushing because it's not good for anybody but them. And they're a very small minority. There's only like what 3 to 6% of the radical left who are actually solid in where they're standing. There's 7,000 of the global elites and 8 billion of us that they're controlling. Those that are so prominent on the media are there's so few. CNN has nearly become non-existent because so few people watch it now. You have to be far radical left to even uh, listen to what they have to say anymore. It's just all propaganda, like Trump said. It's fake news. I don't. I think. I think that this war will take place because it is shown to us in the scriptures, and then after that, Trump would be elected in November 2024. If if the war, I mean, if the invasion of Israel from the north, if it takes place at Purim in 2024, it might not. If it doesn't, I mean, if that day comes and goes, if that feast comes and goes, we're off our watch for another year, and we'll wait till Purim 2025, and Trump would be back in there then. So, unless he's been assassinated or dies of a heart attack or whatever. Um, so, and with Trump in there, that would put it off longer. Okay. We'll just have to see, but we're getting close. I mean, this 86-year-old Antichrist is the one. He's the eighth pope who's also a king. He's the one that's going to pull down the church. He's the one that's going to confirm a peace treaty between Israel and the many. He's the one who's going to rebuild the temple. He's had the Vatican. The Vatican has had the contract to rebuild the third temple for at least 20 years now. He will also return the Ark of the Covenant to the temple once it's built. And they will believe because of those three things, they will believe that he is their Messiah. They will believe it. You know, the Jews will believe it. Let's see. Karen says Ann Coulter is talking about a civil war. I would say there probably wouldn't be one before the war breaks out at Purim if it happens in 2024. I don't think there would be one before Trump be reelected in November 2024. If they stole it from him again, civil war. Or if he's assassinated, civil war. Yeah, but as long as he's alive and the people believe that he can get back in there and do something in 2024, I don't think civil war will break out. Um, the Trump supporters are mostly Christians, believers, so nonviolent. Um, you know, I don't think that the Trump supporters are going to lash out. Like, see what happened January 6th at the Capitol. That wasn't Trump supporters. That was planned that the FBI put in there to make it look like the Trump supporters were destroying the Capitol. It's a big theater is what it is, and you can't really tell, uh well, if you take what the media says and you totally reverse it, you're actually closer to the truth. And if you'll notice on the media, every commercial is some kind of new drug for some ailment, right? Tons of drugs for different ailments. It's because big pharma is controlling the media. They're paying the media for all this airtime, so they're in control of what the media is putting out there. It's all a the wicked have a plan, okay? And they are in finance, education, healthcare, they are in government, they're in uh, every aspect of normal life. And they're doing, you've got the wicked at the top of all these corporations that are oppressing the people and doing terrible things. Um, Wicked have a plan. Okay. I wanted to actually show you something interesting. Let me see if I can. Okay. I want to read this to you. It was sent to me by a sister. It says here the sacred covenant, an illusion it will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception, the perception of the people. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us, like healthcare, finance, religion. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Deeds, um, let's see. Oh, it says, "We will work together always, and we will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks." You know, they have all these oaths that they do. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their mind. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them. Poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy minds and reproductive systems. From all this, children will be born. Um, let's see, where'd it go? From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, and what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it's for their health. We start early on. Man, when their minds are young, we will target their children and what love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals, kill their mind, steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak and before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese. And when they come to us for help, we will give them more poisons. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods so they may never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games so they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind sharing, mind altering technology to their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. We will foment animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death. Oh, man. When a light shall shine among them, those standing up for Jesus, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best. Oh, make my day, bozos. We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. We'll accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. The hate will blind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger, though through images and sounds. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them that we are all one. This they must never know. They must never know that color is an illusion. They must always think they are not equal. Drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth, exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we shall accuse them of crimes and present a different story to the world, for we shall own all the media. We will use our media to control the law of information, the flow of information, and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of their own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not of us. The recruits will be called initiates and will be indoctrinated to believe fake rites of passage to higher realms. Members of these groups, get ahead of me. Okay. Members of these groups will think they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this truth, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face, so close they will not be able to focus, or until it is too late. Oh, yes, so grand the illusion of freedom will be that they will never know they are our slaves. All is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time immemorial. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we shall perish then. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. We must never ever find out what we have done, for if they do, we shall have no place to run, for it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is a secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives. For this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. The covenant is sealed by blood, our blood. We, the ones who are from heaven to earth, came. See, they're the wicked. They are the wicked. Okay. Um, it says here, it's almost finished here. This covenant must never ever be known to exist. It must never ever be spoken of, for if it is, the consciousness it will spawn will release the fury of the prime creator upon us, that we shall be cast to the depths from whence we came and remain there until the end of time of infinity itself. The secret covenant. That's what it says. Now, isn't that interesting? Snakes in dresses, I'm telling you. Um, it's reeking. Um, I know it seems crazy, guys, but that's their covenant. I mean, I just read it to you. I didn't write it. Let's see. Let's see. Garrett says, Karen, it's interesting you say that. Because there was a time traveler named John Titor who said there was an American Civil War in 2015, and he went back in time to change it. Obviously, it didn't come to pass in 2015, but now there's a possibility it can still happen. All he did was delay the inevitable. You don't really believe that, do you? Time traveler come to change the future. Well, I mean, why stop it in 2015 if it's going to happen anyway? You know, I don't know. That's kind of how I think. Hi, Shirley. I'm glad to see you. Love you. Uh, Linda says the prayers of the saints that are thrown down to earth, many of those prayers were for people to get healed. Oh, just happened? What did I do? Um, so people thrown out of the wedding will be healed or upgraded so they can become Mars? No, no. If you don't get upgraded or if you don't get to keep your body and your world identity, you can't go to the wedding. The wedding is in this digital world. Okay. You have to be able to come back. You need a body and a world identity from being born inside to be able to come back and get your body back. Um, Now, Garrett is quoting um, Romans 13. Let every soul be subject to, Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. Powers that be are ordained of God. Yes, He created good and evil. We know that from Isaiah 45:7. Let me get you that scripture there. Okay, in Isaiah 45:7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. He's in control of both good and evil. He sends evil angels to do what they do. Let me show you that scripture now too. It's in Psalms. He sends evil angels to do what they do. See, he's in control of both sides. And the devil's not fighting with God, okay? He's our enemy, not God's enemy. Psalm 78:49, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. But see, Jesus conquered the strong man when he went into the wilderness for 40 days. He conquered the devil. So that's why all of the devils obeyed Jesus during his ministry. He had already conquered their boss. So all of the devils answered to Jesus. None of them, not a single one of them defied him when he was here. They obeyed him. They answered him when he asked them a question. Like the one that said, "What is your name?" It said, "We are legion, for we are many." And he told them there was what, between 3 and 5,000 devils inside that guy at the tomb. He was so out there. He was so possessed by devils, he couldn't even be around people. They chained him out by their tombs outside of the town, and he would repeatedly break the chain. He could not be allowed to be around other people. He was in such captivity. Um, in verse 2 here, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, that they that resist shall create for themselves damnation. Um, yeah, they're going to kill us. See, when we defy the government, one world government, they're going to kill us. Just like if you defy the government now and commit crimes, they're going to imprison you or execute you if the crimes are bad enough. He's saying that God has established the government. He's also establishing the one world order with the snake in a dress pope, Antichrist at the top. I mean, he's a creation. He's not alive. He's like a computer generated devil. All right. Inside the digital world. Just because God is creating and has, okay, you and not me. Just because God has created both sides and is controlling both sides, uh, that doesn't mean they are against God. They're the devil is man's enemy, not God's enemy. I mean, God doesn't have an enemy unless he creates one for himself. And why would he do that? The devil does. This is a race in a digital world. It's an obstacle course of challenges and trials. And we trust in Jesus and navigate through each of these things, each of these trials, using the word, and we win our race if we trust in Jesus. He wins it for us, actually, if we trust in him and love him. If you love him, you're going to win your race. It's a sure thing. All you have to do is love him and trust him and believe him, and you're good to go. All right. But if you count on your own actions, your own righteousness, which you don't have any, okay, there's none righteous, no, not one, and that our righteousnesses are like filthy rags, according to Isaiah, our works that we do are all going to be burned up. Only what is done by Jesus Christ through you as a vessel will remain. And if you don't bear fruit, which means if Jesus isn't in you doing his thing through you, you're not going to get your body back or your world identity, and you won't get to attend the wedding. Instead, you will lose the right to your body and your world identity or soul. You will return to the Father crying and ashamed of yourself. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. You do not want that to happen. But that's right. The scriptures in Romans, Garrett, that you quoted, that's right. He's warned us that if you defy the powers that are established, even if they're evil, and we're supposed to defy them, okay? If they're evil, we must defy them. They're going to kill us for it. Just like now, right now, if you do evil and you defy the government, they will imprison you or execute you or whatever. As these things change, this Antichrist government, which is also designed by God to occur, okay, if you defy it, that's what's going to happen. What says in Romans that you will be punished, executed, imprisoned, whatever. But in order to follow God, we have to defy the one world order. But that is the natural result. You do. Okay. Better if we die than join them. We can't join them. Just can't do it. Hi, Troy. I'm glad to see you. Hi, Judah. Troy's our producer. I miss him so much. He's been off this summer, but back soon and start producing the show again for us, so you don't have to put up with me doing it. I'm not good at it. Troy's the best. Tina said, "Me too. I'd try to defend my family if and when needed." Yeah, we all would, but you can defend yourself, but don't be an aggressor to like hurt somebody else and steal their food to feed your family. Okay. Now, if they come to you and they want to hurt you, you can defend yourself, but you can't be the aggressor who is taking something from someone that doesn't belong to you just to save your life. Ask him, go, I mean, approach him and ask him, is there anything I can give you in exchange? Or can I, is any job that you'd like me to earn some food and water for my family or whatever? I mean, you don't have to steal it or hurt people to survive. Okay. We count on God, not ourselves. Hi, David. You doing all right? How art I? I art fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was the secret covenant that I read to you. Someone sent it to me. Um, it's elitist stuff. Yes, that's their plan. That's what they do. And if you know about it, they want to call you a conspiracy theorist or Alex Jones or and they don't mean it complimentary. They mean it as an insult. You know, unless you're a mindless flunky who just goes along with anything the media tells you and anything the elite tells you. They lie. We would too in their shoes because if they don't lie, the people will rise up and put the hurt on them. Um, let's see. David says not a single one is bulletproof, and that's why they want everyone disarmed. Yeah, you have power if you, but they're going to do it in such a way to where you won't have power. I mean, you're not going to have any power if they send a dozen SWAT members to your house to collect your weapon. What are you going to do? Fight your way out and kill your own community's SWAT team? And then what? I mean, you can't win in that situation. If they come house to house individually, they're going to get them. But they don't even need the guns. They don't need to take your guns. They want you to think that they want to take your guns. All they have to do, they don't have to take your guns. All they have to do is make sure you can't get your hands on any ammunition. Your gun is pointless and worthless without ammunition. While you're worrying about 'em taking your guns, all they have to do is cut off your supply to the ammunition. It's kinda like, you can't see the forest because the trees are in the way, right? Um, Hi, Dawn, how you doing? It's cool to see you, sister. Yes, we don't hurt anybody, Tina, you're right. That the evil spirits went into the pig. Jesus went he traveled quite some distance to get to that man as well, that he set free from that legion of devils, and he actually ended up destroying the ecology of that area just to rescue that one captive child of God from all those demons, because they went into the pigs, went down into the river, and drowned themselves, and you had 3,000 dead pigs in the river, which would totally pollute the water to where you couldn't drink it and totally just destroy the ecology of the area. Um, but Jesus, that's why they said, "Please go away, leave." They told Jesus to go away. Uh, but he was willing to destroy the ecology of the entire area just to rescue that one child of God who was captive of 3,000 devils. Now, you're never going to be captive of 3,000 devils. That's an extreme case. So Jesus could show us that no matter how many devils may have been holding you captive, you're precious to him. Even if you are in such terrible captivity that you can't even function around people anymore. He would he came to rescue that one. He leaves the 99 to rescue the one. I really hoped we could get into the trumpets tonight, but it just didn't happen, did it? Let's see, is there any more questions over here? Thank you, Kevin. Um, Hi, Michael, Jeff, all of you. I'm so glad that you're here. There's a bunch of you guys over here tonight. So glad that you're here. Hi, Vicky. Um, Hello, food stamp baby. He says nothing can stop it. We're effed. You're right. I mean, we're all. If we die, we win. Right? um, see if anybody else has anything to say. Andrew, don't be a sicko. What kind of questions are you asking? Your wife or your mama or your grandma ought to be seeing what you're writing. You should be ashamed of yourself. Shame on you. Okay. Talk to me like that. Um, you're hilarious, Chris. Oh, Chris, you're just a really sad case. Oh, Andrew, you're sad too. I feel sorry for you. You guys are just deviants, aren't you? Just spewing all your well, oh, thank you. Thank you, Rock. Well, we've already gone over our over our 2 hours. I love you guys. God bless you. Thanks for studying with me tonight. Have a wonderful Sabbath, a wonderful weekend, and we'll hopefully see you on Monday right back here at 7 p.m. Central. In the meantime, do right and risk the consequences. Night, guys. Love you.